And this is it for our first meeting of September on September 1st, 2020. Welcome everybody to the Wilmington Rotary Club on Zoom. This week, we're going to kick off the meeting with an invocation and pledge by Marty. Marty, if you'll unmute yourself and take it away, we're ready.
Okay, thank you, Robbie. Let us pray. Lord, we're just thankful for this day, the day that you gave us. Lord, help us just to realize what a gift that is and use that gift to the benefit of others. Give us the eyes and the ears to see the needs around us, that we could just express your love through our lives. We think of those in our Rotary Club that may be sick, that we know of, that we don't know of as well. We ask for your blessing upon them. We thank you for this club, that we can be an outreach of your love into the community. And Lord, we just look forward to the program in which we're about to hear. In Christ's name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the
republic
for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thanks again, Marty. That was great. We appreciate it. We're going to move right on into health and happiness. And I can't wait to see what happens when Brett turns his camera on. Let's see it, Brett.
Hi, everyone. I come from you in solitude, here in my shed, where my wife prefers me. I hope you can all hear and see me, because that's what I want, to be seen. So we have some great news. I wanted to start here on a little bit more serious note of the good things and the health things before I digress. The city of Wilmington has been a very, very wonderful place to grow up. It's also got a vast history. And one of our club members has been working to bring this history to light for a long time. That club member is Velva Jenkins, and that history piece is the World War II efforts that went on in Wilmington before and during the war. And what's going to happen is the President of the United States is coming to designate our little town on the Atlantic tomorrow as the first official city for World War II heritage. Now, that's a huge deal. We all know how long Wilbur's been working on this, and I'm not the one to give him a congratulations. This is an entire club. Congratulations to you, Wilbert, for your hard work and your team, which we know you have many people you collaborate with. And I know we're going to hear a lot more about the event tomorrow and some more details of what you're doing. But I, for one, would like to say congratulations for all your hard work. And this is a really cool moment for Wilmington and all the veterans and all of the people of our city. Thank you.
Brett, that's very nice of you to say. And I want you to know the reason he's not on board in this meeting is because he is on the phone right now with the White House. And as you know, they keep everything very secret. So okay.
Cool.
But thanks for that. He'll appreciate that. I'll share.
All right, Ann, great. Let's see. Nick Rhodes has been appointed or asked to join the airport board. Congratulations, Nick. That's wonderful news. I know you'll do wonderful there. Larry Anderson went to visit Jake Shepard's. He's in good spirit. That's some great news. Please keep Joe and Caroline Augustine in your thoughts and prayers. We think about them all the time over here on the Health and Happiness crew. So we want all of you to think about them while they are going through health issues. That goes to say as well for Ken Willits and Patrice and their family. And, you know, for birthdays, I brought a friend, and his name is Nicky Six. So give me a sec. He's going to do a little birthday rendition for you guys. It's a mixture of punk rock and hair metal. Hope you're ready for this. All right, Wilmington Rotary. Hope you guys can hear me out there. It's a big crowd of people. It's an excellent crowd. It's the biggest crowd Wilmington's ever had. I want to give a shout out to a birthday today for Russell Nugent. All right, I want to give a shout out to Steve Yates on the 4th of September. Happy birthday, Steve. Happy birthday to you, Steve. Bill Humphreys on the 6th. Bill Humphreys, happy birthday. Hey, you know who else is on the 6th, ladies and gentlemen? That's Rick Hunt. Rick Hunt. Happy birthday, Rick Hunt. Sorry I'm bending all these strings, people. It just feels good to bend them. All right, and finally on the 7th, Nancy Bullock. Happy birthday. I'm thinking about all y'all here in my shed. I'm writing songs for you guys. And I miss you.
Brett,
Brett.
now I know why your wife wants to keep you in your man cave.
We all know. We all know.
I am not playing a musical instrument next week when I do Health and Happiness.
And thank you. Thank you very much.
Was that as
Brett.
loud as I thought it was?
Yes.
Good.
It was very impressive, Brett. Thank you very much.
I want to see him pick that guitar with his teeth.
It's hot out here. I'm going back inside.
All right. Thanks, Brett. Thanks again, Marty. That was wonderful. We're going to move right into guests. And I know I saw Terry. Always happy to have Terry back. She's been our guest, our permanent guest for 6 months. And I think that status is going to change soon. But for now, Terry, thanks for being with us. If you'll give us a wave. All right. Do we have any other guests of Rotarians? And if we do, please, Rotarian, unmute your mic and make an introduction for us. I think that's enough time to unmute. Not hearing anybody. If we have any guest Rotarians, so any Rotarians from other clubs that are joining us today, please unmute your mic. Say hello. All right. That's it. We're going to get right past the guests. If anybody sees any guests, you can certainly Zoom message me in the chat, and I will reach out and call on them later. We're going to move right along to announcements. And, you know, going back to Health and Happiness, I forgot everything I was going to say when he started playing the guitar. But I do want to, again, shout out to both Wilbur for what he's accomplished for our community and all the work that he's done for a long time in the community, as well as Nick Rhodes. You guys, that's awesome. Nick, keep the planes flying in and out of Wilmington the best you can. And what an honor to be on that board as well. Moving into announcements. I am going to quickly talk about last year's Wheel of Honor. You know, I think it's been on a lot of people's minds of what happened last year, where it went. I'm going to try and do this really quickly, but the point I want to get across is I want anybody to email me with additional feedback that they have on this topic today or anytime between now and next meeting. I'm trying to compile some ideas, take the temperature of the club on how we're going to finish up and wrap up last year's fundraiser that obviously didn't happen. Before I ask for that feedback, and I've already asked for it in my email, and I've got 4 or 5 people that were nice enough to send feedback already. I appreciate all that. I wanted to just give a little background on fundraising for people who don't know how the finances of the club work year to year. Generally, in a regular Rotary year, not last year COVID Rotary year, but in a regular Rotary year, we raise around a net of $40,000 in our club. And that's not a ton of money for a club our size, but it is obviously enough money that we can get a lot accomplished. And when we spend that money, you know, we spend it so well with all of our projects that it goes a long way. Unfortunately, last year, it was not a normal year. Last year, instead of netting 40,000, we grossed around 30,000. The good news was, I mean, I guess good news, because we didn't get to have the fundraiser. We didn't have that $15,000, and these are very round numbers here, y'all. I'm sure there's people who could give us a lot better indications, but real round numbers. We didn't have the $15,000 expense in both flags and the meal, the social that we were going to have. So that meant that we had about $30,000 to spend on our projects and our budget for this year's projects. Obviously, if we had had the event and not been able to raise any more money, you know, we would have had a very low budget this year, and most of the projects that all of you guys are involved in different ways wouldn't have been able to take place. Knowing all those facts about where we stand with money, the $30,000 that we did raise, we did put it into a budget. I had it approved by the board. It's, you know, everything's gone through appropriately, and most of the projects that we do on an annual basis will be able to happen this year. However, that's with the assumption that everybody who donated, including me and everybody else in our club, was to be comfortable with their donation last year going to fund our club this year, and realizing that we didn't have an event, and that we weren't able to raise the flag and honor those friends and family members that we planned on honoring last year because the event was canceled due to COVID. I know that's a lot to take in. Hopefully, you know, I've made it pretty clear as to where we stand. We clearly don't have the money right now to put on a $15,000 event without going back to the well and fundraising more for last year's event. And what we need to do, in my opinion, is start on this year's fundraising event and move on. But I do not want to put anybody out. I want to take in everybody's feedback. Anybody that has a feeling about this, please email me at my email address, which is in the book, but it's robbycolli@aol.com. That's ROBBYCOLLI@AOL.com. That's it. I'm not going to go on that anymore. We can have discussions on it later. I just wanted to put that out there and get some feedback. Next. Virtual fundraiser for this year. Donna and Larry and the fundraising committee are jumping into that already. We've talked about it a little bit last week with the raffle. It's going to be awesome and exciting. And Donna, I saw you on here. Do you have anything to add this week? Or if you'll unmute, there you are.
No. The one thing we do need is if anyone knows of anyone who would be willing to donate an item, a surfboard, a gift certificate for a kayak, anything that we could add to the raffle to sweeten the pot, it would be wonderful. Just give me a call or email me.
So they can get in touch with Donna directly by phone or email. If you have any connections, make those connections with our fundraising committee so that we can make the prizes even better. Because of the ticket price, and I don't know that we've 100% established it yet, but we're looking at about $100 ticket price to make this easy to do. You know, we're trying to look for substantial prizes. You'd hate for somebody to win a $20 prize with their $100 ticket. So anyway, that's the idea. Please contact Donna if you've got anybody that can donate something, a nice prize that could be won in this raffle to help benefit our club and to benefit the raffle. All right. Thanks, Donna. Next, attractions book. And I think Harley is on today. I think we missed him last week. Harley, are you here?
I'm here.
There you are. Give us a quick update on the attractions book.
Well, your email was a little successful. We're up to 64 sold, so we have 16 left to make our goal. That's all I can say. We're almost there.
Oh, thanks, Harley, and thanks for writing the email for me so I didn't have to think about it. I appreciate it. All right, that was attractions books. We'd like to sell 16 more. Get
Y'all
16
need to buy these books just to have Harley drive up to your driveway in his fancy car. I mean, he delivers them. I mean, and he's got this great car. He's got this tan. Oh, man. And I only bought
It is
two.
well worth it, Ann. Thanks a lot. And Harley, thanks for bringing mine by the office yesterday. All right. Rotary masks. Do we have any Rotary masks left, Bo? And that's funny because I haven't seen Bo on the screen yet, and I usually see him early on. He may not be here. I would assume that we have a few Rotary masks left. If anybody wants to order them, I bet that we're down to about 25% left of the initial order. We'd love to sell them all. The first half paid for the order. The second half is going to pay for the, as a fundraiser for the club. So that's where we're going to make our money. Anybody that can buy some for yourself, for your friends, or your kids, please do. And I've been wearing mine everywhere, and I keep it on my desk. Next, Mike Bowden. Can you give us a quick update on your success with the membership committee?
Thank you, Robbie. Gladly. A little bit of a weird year, obviously, with us not meeting face to face. And at the tail end of last year, normally Wilmington Rotary Club is responsible for anywhere from 30 to 40% of the new members for the district. And last year we took a hit. We were a net minus 17. We're looking obviously to improve upon that. So when Robbie asked me to head the committee up, we're kind of, we met a couple times on Zoom, and Larry and I met for coffee one day, and we're basically looking at the whole thing from the standpoint as to, how we get somebody to be sponsored. And then our packets, we're going through and examining what the packet is, what elements should be in it. And then we looked and realized that our brochure that's online and the website in general needs some updating. So we're collecting ideas and doing that as well. And so rebuilding the packets, assembling them, and then basically we're going to try to raise awareness with the club in general that one of the major responsibilities of every club member is to be seeking new members for Rotary. That's the lifeblood. So we're going to be looking at ways we can do that, and we also want to have the emphasis on chasing down certain categories. Whether it's PPD or Corning or the hospital, fire department, more medical, more UNCW, radio, United Way, Star News, those kinds of things. In other words, be proactive and aggressively go after certain categories in order to add variety and diversity to our members. So we're doing that. So we're rounding third base. And speaking of rounding third base, we have 3 members that were in the process. So one of those is Terry Everett, who's on today. Another one working with April Jones, and I have a third one that we're working with as well. So we need to clean those things up and move forward. So it's all going in the right direction. I have Rob Zappel and Charlotte working with me on the committee, and I could use 2 to 3 more members so we can delegate and move along and get a variety of opinions about how we progress. So that'll do it for now. Thank you, President Robbie.
Mike, great report, and thanks so much for jumping in at the last minute, taking over that. I've already been getting emails from you recently about members coming back, and it just needs somebody to head it up and do a great job, and I know you will, so I appreciate it. All right, that's it. We got through all the small part. Now we're going to go on to the best part of the meeting, And I'm going to turn it over to Steve Coggins to introduce our speaker, and we'll move forward. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you, President Robbie, and thank you, fellow Rotarians. We have with us today the recently appointed CEO for an organization that has a significant impact in our community, the YWCA of the Lower Cape Fear, whose motto is empowering women and eliminating racism. How did Velva come to us? She's a native of Brunswick County, went to the UNCW Cameron School of Business, where she graduated with a concentration in marketing and then got her master's degree at Webster's University, an MBA. And fortunately, she came back home to us. She directly started working with the Brunswick Community College, beginning with them, I believe, the director of small business, and then later, though, was promoted to the marketing director, then the dean of continuing and workforce development, and finally the vice president for continuing education, economic, and workforce development. Now, being involved in that area in Brunswick County put her in a position to serve on leadership and a number of governing boards in Brunswick County. And just to give you a flavor of the many that she served on, that included the Southport Oak Island Area Chamber of Commerce, the South Brunswick Island Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors, the Cape Fear United Way Board, the UNCW Alumni Association Board, and on the Brunswick County Hospital Board of Directors Hospital Authority. She has been distinguished with several awards, most recently being the Order of the Longleaf Pine. She has gotten to this point because she has served a lifetime of service above self and emphasizing economic and workforce development, women leadership, and women empowerment through education and community partnerships. Velva, if you will unmute and make yourself heard, Rotary is pleased to welcome you to speak with us today.
Thank you, Steve, and good afternoon, Rotarians. I am delighted to share with this esteemed group the background of the YWCA of the Lower Cape Fear and our mission. The YWCA was established in 1914 in Wilmington and now known as one of the largest women's movement. And this is a movement to empower women and girls to join the struggle for peace, justice, freedom, and dignity for all. For over 100 years, the YWCA has stood for justice and advocated for the most vulnerable communities. Standing with the community in unprecedented times isn't new to YWCA. In 1918, during the Spanish flu, the pandemic was so severe that the Wilmington Hospital could not provide beds for all the sick. So the YWCA opened the doors of their facility and acted as a hospital ward to care for the sick and suffering of the Spanish flu. So I'm pretty sure you can contest how it is at this pandemic that we're going through now. It's very similar to the Spanish flu. The fight for women's equality began early in the inception of the YWCA. The YWCA provided educational classes to help women to become employable. And back in 1919, they requested the city of Wilmington to hire a female probation officer. And our influence was so significant in the city that the YWCA was invited to the table to select that first policewoman, and our voice was heard to make sure that this woman received equal pay to the man officers. Mind you, that was 1919. The YWCA has been in many locations in Wilmington, but we're currently located now at the 2815 South College Road, where we purchased back in 1969. We've changed our name in the early 2000s to be the YWCA of the Lower Cape Fear, serving Brunswick, Columbus, Pender, and New Hanover counties. Our mission is eliminating racism, empowering women, and promoting peace, justice, freedom, and dignity for all. And our mission is an umbrella for 6 areas. Our first area is racial justice and civil rights. This is the pillar that we advocate for racial justice and equality for all. Our effort began in the late 60s when we merged the Phyllis Wheatley branch of the YWCA into just one YWCA. Each year we host several programs to advocate for racial unrest in our communities and unjust. We have the Potluck for Peace, which is an effort to impact peaceful change in the community through food, fellowship, and enriching dialogue. We have the Stand Against Racism program, which is a signature campaign to build community among those who work for racial justice and to raise awareness against negative impacts of racism. The YWCA national event occurs every year in April. Our next program is What's Wrong with Different? This is an anti-bullying program provided by the YWCA of the lowercase fear to teach how to value, appreciate, and respect differences between people. This is designed for 8 to 10-year-olds, and we have reached over 5,000 children in the lowercase fear since 2015. Talk on Race is one of our new efforts, and it's to engage with the community in conversation in equitable and just society. Each month, there is a different topic such as education, voting, and policing. Currently, this is a virtual format and is provided through Facebook Live. And it's held on the first Tuesday in each month. As a matter of fact, it's going on right now. Our second event that was just launched in June 19, and is available anytime that anyone will choose to participate. And it is called 21-Day Racial Equity Challenge. This is a self-paced of dedicated time and space to build more effective and social justice habits, particularly those dealing with race. And then we have Get Out to Vote. We're co-sponsoring with the League of Women Voters on candidate forums. And this will start on September 15th, 16th, and 17th with the Board of Education, county commissioner candidates, and our state legislators. And then finally, with our efforts with our racial justice program, advocacy program, is Census. We go into the vulnerable communities and encourage them and also educate them the importance of participating in the 2020 census. Our second program area is called Economic Advancement for Women. And this is a program supporting women who are taking steps towards financial independency and self-sufficiency. This is done through classes and advising, financial literacy classes, and etc. We also have the YWCA Strive. The Strive is a new project launching this fall. It is funded by google.org. We received $60,000 over a 3-year period to offer this program. It is to teach job skills training with focus on digital skills for the underserved community. And we're partnering with Brunswick Community College, Cape Fear Community College, and Southeastern Community College to offer this program. Our third area of programming is early education youth enrichment. You remember when I said that we were at the very involved in the pandemic in 1918. Well, now in 2020, with the COVID-19, our child care facility was one of very few that stayed open for the essential workers during this pandemic. We did not close our doors. And our early childhood program started in 1981. And we're licensed by the state of North Carolina, and we're one of very few of the early childhood programs that is nonprofit and licensed by the state. We're licensed to house 195 children with a star 3 rating. We offer affordable and accessible child care education, and we provide children with culturally sensitive, developmental, appropriate activities that will enable children to succeed in school. We also offer the Youth Enrichment Program, which is after-school programs, which we have at least up to 80 kids enrolled in that program on a normal year. And then we have REACH, which is an empowerment program for girls, elementary and middle schools, designed to help them to overcome challenges and discover their voices. Our fourth area is family support and empowerment. And I'm sure a lot of you have heard of our very signature program called Grandparent Support Network. The number of grandparents raising grandchildren is increasing drastically because of parents dealing with drugs, mental illness, and incarceration. And these grandparents, they are stepping up to the plate. They do not want to see their grandchildren put in foster care. But can you imagine having full custody of your adult children's children, dealing with education that's going on today, technology, and discipline? So with the GSN program, we provide support, resources, and peer support to over 59 families and over 100 children. Our second area in our family support empowerment program is Early Parenthood Program. This program is housed in Columbus County, and it serves over 13 teen mothers currently to help them to succeed and build strong, healthy families. The goal is through education and to build the motivation, self-motivation, and to prevent second pregnancies. Our fifth program area is health and safety. This is through aquatics. We offer a variety of aquatics programs to promote water safety, water skills, and access to affordable and fun exercise. We're year-round with open air swimming during the spring and summer, and covered by our pool bubble in the fall and winter months. Programs consist of water aerobics, swim lessons, barracuda swim team, lap swim, and we have flow motion. Flow motion is a progressive water and land fitness program developed for survivors of breast cancer in the Lower Cape Fear. This program is funded by the Cape Fear Memorial Foundation. The YW Club, an official USA triathlon club providing specialized training and swimming, running, cycling for all levels and ages athletes. Our special initiatives include Week Without Violence, third week of October, a movement to end violence among women and girls, domestic violence, and human trafficking. Our only and not our only, but our major fundraiser that we have is called Women of Achievement. Since 1985, we've recognized impactful contribution of over 400 women in the Lower Cape Fear. This year was the first year that we had to cancel this event because of COVID-19 after 34 years. This was an $80,000 revenue loss for the YWCA, and the YWCA only major fundraiser that support our outreach programs. We hosted a virtual event this year called We Stand, yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And all of you that's participated, we want to thank you so graciously for all your support during this time. We raised over $35,000, our first virtual event. The pandemic has brought extreme hardship to YWCA. We served over 8,000 individuals annually through our services and outreach programs, and we have over 2,300 members. Before the pandemic, the YWCA funding was from 72% from aquatics and childcare. 12.7% was grants and contributions. 9.2% was government and contracts, and 3.5% in membership. So most of our revenues and the support of our programming has been through our aquatics and our child care program. But during this pandemic, we have lost about 70% of our revenues in aquatics. As you know, the pools have been closed for a long time, and they're only at 30% capacity at this time. Our child care, we've lost 30% in revenues in child care. There were weeks that our aquatics was completely closed, but we are still moving forward. With the decrease in operation and the need for building repairs, we are looking at a challenging 2021 and 2022. But the YWCA, we're resilient. We will bounce back. We will look for our community to support us. The YWCA is governed by a board of 17 members, and the current president is Evelyn Adger. In the fall 2019, we activated an advisory group, 1914 Society, made up of affluent community leaders from the Lower Cape Fear to help navigate during our treacherous times. If you are interested in volunteering, or you are wanting to contribute to our cause, or feel that you would like to support us in any way, feel free to call us at 799-6820 or visit our website at www.ywca-lowercapefear.org. And I appreciate your time in listening at me today. Thank you.
Okay, we're at a point now where we can entertain questions. So as it goes, you just raise your hand virtually and we'll call on you.
Yes.
Ann Coffey, you are up.
How many kids are you taking care of at the location on College Road through like extended learning like they're doing at the Near Y and at the
Yes, when we registered the first day that they started the virtual learning here in New Hanover County, we had 62 kids registered.
And are they all at the location on College Road?
Yes, well, this is our only location at this point. And years ago, and we just closed it in January, we had a location at the Wesley Memorial Church. But because of low enrollment, we closed that location. So we only have the 2815 College Road location at this time. And we are licensed to be able to serve 195 children.
Okay, Steve Coggins.
Bill, I believe you became executive director shortly before, CEO, shortly before the COVID crisis hit, as I recall.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
I take it if you had to make some difficult decisions about reducing staffing or anything like that?
We have been very fortunate that we have lost very few people because of COVID. And the reason that we did have significant changes in our product because we were closed, so those individuals were laid off. But for childcare, because we are licensed, the state of North Carolina has provided, Department of DHHS, have provided some funding to help us stay afloat. There were bonuses and support for those essential workers that were keeping their doors open to support essential workers. So the state of North Carolina was able to provide additional funding, so we were able to keep all of our child care workers in.
Mike Bowden.
Thank you, Larry. I was just curious in terms of if you could tell us about your dome over there and what's the life of that, what's it cost, how many people does it take to put it up and down, and when do you do that?
Oh, Mike, that is a great question. Thank you for asking. Evidently, you must be a friend of ours over here. That is a major issue. Up until last year, until Florence, we were able to get insurance coverage for our bubble. So now we do not have insurance coverage when it comes to wind and hail for the bubble. The bubble is very expensive. We're at our last years of life on the bubble. I mean, at the very last end. It's going to cost us probably about $200,000 this time to replace it. The last time we replaced it, it was around $100,000. So that cost has significantly increased. It's about a 15-year lifespan to that bubble. It takes about 80 volunteers, anywhere from 60 to 80 volunteers to put it up and take it down. We're going to try to extend the time that it's down this year because we know this is a very active hurricane season. We do not want a chance that we have a storm to destroy our bubble. So we're going to try to extend the time of keeping it down until maybe like sometime late October. So we're praying the weather is going to be good and warm up until then, and then we can put it back up. And then keep in mind, when it goes back up, if COVID is not at a minimum, we're going to have to risk that chance of having the services of swimming. Right now, with it being in space, we are able to do the swimming lessons, the lap swim, and very managed size swim teams. But when the bubble goes up, that will change a little bit. So that's another reason we want to extend it.
I see Anna LaRue has raised her hand.
Thank you, Larry. Velva, prior to COVID, what was your family and individual memberships, and what was your primary source of revenue before the COVID?
Okay, very good question, Ann. Our primary source of revenue, it was 72% came from a total of aquatics and childcare. So we were very, very stable with our funds and very stable with covering the expenses of our organization. That was pre-COVID. Our revenues last year of 2019 was around 1.9 million. We have a significant impact this year with COVID. It's really hurting us. So I'm sure that you're going to see about a 70% decrease in that revenues.
Kudos to you and all you do, truly.
Thank you.
Oh, I agree with that. I don't see any more questions, so I think we'll turn this back over to Robbie.
There is Mr. Corbett has a question.
Oh, Albert Corbett just raised his hand.
Yeah, Velva, thank you for coming. Can you hear me?
I can.
Welcome. And they have looked like really gotten an outstanding leader in you. I'm very, very impressed and very interested in what you're doing, particularly in the two things. One, in the area of childcare, that is extremely important. And another question is partnering with other agencies, YMCA, Salvation Army. Is any of that in the planning board, or comment on that if you would?
Mr. Corbett, I think you cut out a little bit, but if I'm not mistaken, you were referring to the YMCA?
Yes, and Salvation.
Is that correct?
Yep.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Very good question. I am very impressed with the leadership of Mr. Jones, Dick Jones at the YMCA. We talk on a very regular basis. We are collaborating and seeing how we can work with each other. Matter of fact, when we were opening our pool, we talked about the same type protocols that put in place, that we discussed those. We're right now at the table every Monday talking about how we're going to pursue the virtual learning for children. We're also looking at some other ways that we collaborate. I know in Brunswick County, in several locations at the YMCA, they were having some issues with bullying. And Dick reached out to me, and we provided free service to the YMCA with our anti-bullying program. And we're hoping that that really impacted the children there, and they were able to get a sense of appreciating different people and different cultures through this program. So those are the ways that we are collaborating. Now with Salvation Army, I have not yet had an opportunity to reach out with to the Salvation Army, but my plans are to do that as soon as we can get a little bit time in the day to do that. There are other groups that we are collaborating with. Kids Are Making It. We do that program, and we have an MOU with them to work with the GSN program. And I come from leadership where collaboration is great. I do not work in silo. I like to reach out and find organizations with like minds, like missions, because there's strength in numbers. And we're here to serve a community that is in need, and we can't do it alone. It must be a power of groups of individuals. So that is one of my goals, is to make sure that I work with the community, not by myself, as an organization.
Okay, does anyone else have any questions? Okay, Robbie, it's back to you.
Larry, thanks so much. Velva, thank you for being here today. It was a very interesting talk. We really appreciate it. Some of my earliest memories are swimming in your pool, so thanks for keeping it open and keeping it going for the rest of the community like it was there for me as a child. Everybody, thanks for being here. We had a good turnout again. No surprise with our speaker today that we'd have a good turnout. If anybody has anything for the good of the club, now would be a time to unmute yourself and speak up. We're going to take just a minute for this.
I have a quick comment. I have been negligent in visiting the Rotary Wheel to check out the new lighting and everything, and did that a few weeks ago. You all need to see what they did. Not only the landscaping, the lighting, it's beautiful. And what I loved, at 9 o'clock at night, there was not one bum or anyone who wasn't supposed to be there, because it's such an inviting place. You would want to go, but it is absolutely beautiful. And you all that did the landscaping and the lighting, thank you. I'm very proud to be this Rotarian.
And thanks for that update. I have not seen it at night, and that's
It's
really neat.
lovely,
That
lovely.
makes me want to get out there and see it. Matt, thanks for all
And
the
I
work
still
you did on
need
that.
3 or 4 members in my walk team. Name
Okay,
of my
still
team is Service Above Self.
awesome.
Hey,
Anyone
Robbie.
else? Yes.
Robbie.
Hey,
This
Matt.
is Matt. Basically, what I wanted to say was, I feel very passionate about the Wheel of Honor and the progress that we've made. And I am pleased to announce that we have a new corporate sponsor. So this project needs to continue, and it needs to continue in a strong, concerted way. And the new project sponsor operates drones. And so I have images from the wheel at elevation, looking down. Some of them are very amazing, and I'll be happy to share those with the club. I've shared them with sort of my lieutenant, Sean, and also with Mark Mendenhall. And
Matt,
what we're going to do is create yet another call to action and, PSA.
Matt, that sounds awesome, man. I appreciate the work you're doing on it. Please get with John Myers so that he can include one of those images in the in our newsletter coming up. And Tolis, I saw your hand up. What do you say, Tolis?
I think John Myers should have all these videos because he's very creative and has done an excellent job in the past promoting our club visually and otherwise. I think he should have that. And Matt, if you can transfer that information, all these videos to John Myers, I think he'll come up with some very good ways of promoting our club and what we have done at the Wheel of Honor, because in most cases, clubs in general fail to promote themselves because they think, hey, you're bragging about yourself. Well, you know what? We have bragging rights on issues such as this and as well as others, and we ought to take the opportunity and inform the public who is responsible for the project at the Wheel of Honor, because most people don't even know it exists. They don't even know that this is a Rotarian creation, a Rotary creation. And John Myers is very capable of doing that, and please transfer that information to him. I'm always a believer. You did something right, just have the satisfaction of putting it out there, informing the public what our club as a whole has done for this city. That's it.
Tolis, thanks. That's a great to hear. And all of our confidence in John. And John's just chatted with us and said, watch for the website soon. I think him and Matt can get together and get that up. So thanks, John. Anybody else? All right. Y'all, that was a great meeting. Thanks for everybody being here. I have posted the four-way test. If you'll all unmute yourselves. I see a couple of people have unmuted. There we go. There we go. All right. The four-way test of the things we think, say, and do. First.
Is it the truth?
Is it the truth?
Second.
Is it fair to all?
Third.
Will it build goodwill and better friendship?
And fourth.
Will be beneficial to all concerned.
Rotary. Thanks, everybody.
Take
If we
care.
don't hear from you, y'all give me some feedback. I know we just heard from Matt. Everybody give me your feedback on last year's fundraiser, and I look forward to seeing you all next week if I don't talk to you before. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Robbie.
Bye-bye.
Robbie.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Look at her. Cute. Very cute.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey, Larry.
All right, I'm going to end the meeting. Take care, guys.